So I want to begin my discussion with you with a simple question. Is there politics in sports and sport in politics? How does it manifest on your point of view?
Normally in all our life for sports, I was ex-sport riders. Now I am working in the team, like sport director in the cyclist team. And all the time, especially in Europe, it was always like saying sport is not politics, politics is not in the sport. But it's really not true, because this was always inside. It was two things together working all the life. Even if we go to the direction when I was young in Ukraine, when I was in sports school, all the money for support the sport was from the politic, from the government. Till now, for this is not like in Europe. If you go, you can see you have the clubs. We can talk a lot about the cyclists. You have the clubs who sponsoring the teams, and they perform in the races. Especially in our country, still the politic, this is the government, the city, the small villages, and only in the past some years we tried to introduce the sponsors to give the money for the sports.
But now we have obvious reasons for this. We are in war, so maybe in future we will talk about all the improvements in this situation. But I have I'd say, maybe ethical question, but still very difficult for the sportsman. Do athletes have a choice? That's how I called my question preview. How is the choice between a dream, the goals of the Olympics or the World Championship, the fame and the appreciation of well-deserved work in exchange for loyalty to the hired leaders of your state, of your country, and the sacrifice of all of this in exchange for dedication to your country and your people? This is an ethical question, but it's your point of view.
I will always say, and divide the things before the war, or before with the CCP, with the Russia, before the Russia, Ukrainian independence, and now timing. This was always the things to choice. Before, Ukrainian, Belarusian, Moldavian, all the athletes not have the choice. I would not pass this time like professional riders who start to go outside of the Russia to go to the Europe. But I hear a lot of stories like every time the KGB,
KGB,
was, yes. KGB. They was because I translate in many languages for this.
FSB, that's how I understand
FSB.
everybody, yeah.
Yes, they have always the people around the sportsmen who go outside of the country. They always was present with them. Already in my age, when I started going outside of Ukraine, it was nothing like this. It was really easy. For this, we start to be sportsmen with another mentality. We start to be more strong. It's like in my age, we was study Ukrainian literature, Russian literature, again the Russian language, Ukrainian language. After we have choice, after 92, we have choice to what we want to do. Same start with the sportsmen. And what I see, a lot of sportsmen can have his choice what to do, how to perform, or perform with the Russian or not. We have really nice example some days ago. This was the best things forever, because everyone start already forget about the war. You know, the people in Europe, they already almost nothing happened, because it's normal things already for years. For this, it was really nice to see this with the Harlan, and I think this gives us some wake up call. And what we see already in many countries, the Russian teams, they try to escape all the persecution, what they do about them. like example, I can talk only about the cyclists because I'm working in the cyclist team. Like they take the license of Portuguese team or Spanish team, and they ride like all together in the same races like in other riders. This is not okay, but they try to find some escape.
We will surely discuss this case a little bit later, but I want to resume our conversation about the possible future examples of the best examples of European countries, how to, I would say, break this dark circle when there's the influence of state structures in sports on the civil position of the athletes, on example of European countries, because you spend a lot of time in Italy, you took place in the Tour de France, you spent time, as I understand, in Spain, so you have lots of experiences. From the best experiences of Europe, except for these athlete clubs, as you just mentioned before, what else can be taken from that experience and implemented here in Ukraine after the war to break this connection between politicians and between Olympic Committee, for example?
A lot of depends of different sports, different European, even world's federation who command them. It also depends a lot of the country. If you can see in the experience of the last years from where the war started, if you see Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, you have the strong country who is against Russia full gas. They say no events, no sportsmen from this country, and you see another country who do like this.
Yes.
They open, close their eyes, and like we can see like Hungary or even some another country who can close a little bit eyes. And also it's different. It's different sport. Example, in the cyclist, we not have the Russian sportsmen who perform in the high level. For this, is easy to not take the start with them. And also in Ukraine, we not have enough of riders who can compete with them in the one group, But in the level, a little bit down level, yes, you have this problematics. But this also depends, or organizer invite the Russian teams or Russian racers, cyclists, and you need to decide, or you go fight against them, or you stay at home and you sacrifice your athletes. It's you put the two things in the scale, and it depends what to do. But with the Ukrainian Federation, they decide like national team not can take the start with the Russian riders. This is only things. When you go with the club, it's different. It's already accept of the rider, because the club pay you money, they provide you salary, and you need to take your decision. But the problem with the professional guys, if you not take the start for 3, 4, or 5 times, team can say bye-bye. You risk your life, you risk your career, you have family, you can give them salary, money. This is always the big things what everyone can or need to think.
Talking about people, ordinary people, viewers and maybe fans of the sports of other countries that might be affected by the civil position of some sportsmen, of athletes. You spend a lot of time, as I mentioned already, in Italy. And at the beginning of the war, you saw a great support from Italians towards Ukrainians. And how do you see the situation changes? Because talking to the experts from other countries, we see that this support much higher than it was at the beginning of the full-scale invasion.
Now support for sure has gone down like 90%, even 95%. in the moment when the war started, I was fully for 3 months out of my job. I was completely done for the help, for humanitarian help to Ukraine, and people was amazing. I never saw in my life Italians, because I was living in Italy for a long time. I never saw Italians to be so generous, so helpful for one country. But from another side, it's understandable. You understand this because all Ukrainian women for many 20 years, 25, they was living in Italy. They helped grandma, mama, a sister of these Italians. They married with Italians. There's full of people Ukrainian here. Was this when I was there working this hub? Also always was Ukrainian women with Italian men. They bring the things, and also the normal people was. But this was amazing. I tell you, I was living for this 3 months. It's like in one, like this, not sleep, not do nothing, not eat. I lose a lot of kilos, but working. Now is everything like normal is going down. Only some normal people still helping, but only in the mirror things, if they need some medical things, okay, can help. You need this. It's not like before. It was everything. It was food, clothing, military things. Now it's very specific. Also, I have some requests from the people, because I was working especially with the medicine to help our military guys. And when we have some requests, I have still the people who work in this business. I try to help them. But it's not like before.
Let's talk about the main decisions that are made in the sports institutions and sport committees. From the latest information, the starting stage of the Giro d'Italia 2024 may take place in Ukraine. This statement was made by the head of the Italian Foreign Ministry, Antonio Tajani. However, according to the government officials, such development will become a reality if the situation allows. So the Giro is one of the main competitions in the world of road cycling. My question to you is why it is so important for us. Can you explain, please?
I think these things, when I hear these things, I think is really publicity things. I want to be very straight. Okay. It was publicity things, because for organize the race, this kind of race, it's really big work, and you not can decide like one day to do this, and in the country when still the war is going, and you not can say it will be in 1 year everything will be okay, and you can provide a lot of security still. Okay, it's possible, but for me it's not true. But from another side is the biggest things what can happen for the sport, because it's a lot of publicity for the world already. Everyone know where is Ukraine, what is Ukraine, and what happened in Ukraine. It's not like 3-4 years ago. It's some country, some there, somewhere. It's Kiev. Okay, no, nobody know nothing else. Now everyone know where is this. It will be the greatest things for the sports, for the publicity for Ukraine, and it will be really nice. But I not believe it can happen in 1 year. It's really like make me smile, make me a little bit fun. But now everyone, if want to do something, it will be in the high level. Say I'm help Ukraine, or I'm doing for Ukraine, I'm doing this. Sometimes it's too much.
Let's talk about another competition, and there's some questions and doubts what to do with Belarus and Russian teams and representatives. And this issue, Russians will hurt chances of hosting events. David Lapartien claims that the government does not trust the cycling organization to ensure Russian and Belarusian athletes are competing as neutrals before the World Championships in Scotland next month. The UK government has recommended that athletes from Russia and Belarus can only compete in Britain if they are self-funded and provide a private written declaration of neutrality to national governing bodies, stressing that they are not representing the two regimes. According to British newspaper The Times, the president, David Lapartien, has issued a letter to the UK Sports Minister Stuart Andrew, expressing concerns over the country's stance and accusing them of showing a lack of faith in the background checks carried out by his organization. So is it a good example of affecting politicians on sport decisions, so concrete and clear from this concrete case?
No, it's always, I will say, I'm always like straight in these things. If we say not is not, they not can compete in any case, because this country, they destroy our country, they destroy our sports arena, they destroy family of our athletes, they destroy everything in our country. What we can tell them only to sign the paper, what they not like with the war or something like this is not okay, because I can say everything what I want in the paper, or I can sign everything what I want, but after I'm support the war, I'm support everything, and this is it's really complicated things. It's really complicated, but if we take decision, we need to respect the decision and till the war is not finished, because. Like I say before in this interview, the sport is always politics. It's always. Even if you want to say no, it's like this. For this, they use the country. They can even if their athletes will be represented there. Okay, they're not strong enough to do something. They will not win the race. They will not. But still. The journalists, the commentators will talk with them about them. If they will be not there, they will talk. They will say they have punished, and this is good things.